services and solutions to regionally based small to medium enterprises and not-for-profits. And we are here to help you and your business, not only through these challenging COVID-19 times, but all the time. Please ask any questions you have as we go along and we'll do our best to answer. Outside of this, you can contact the team anytime via Facebook, email or telephone. The details are in the comments. If you want more information about any of these stories or the details of them, please just get in touch or ask in the comments. So it's been a big week this week. Thanks to all of our good work in keeping numbers of new COVID infections down, restrictions have lifted over a number of states in the last week. There were no new cases in New South Wales yesterday, which hasn't happened since the 10th of June, so go us! So in New South Wales last week, just in time for a lot of community sport finals, the one-person spectator rule was lifted as long as social distancing requirements can still be met. There were a lot of us who really wanted to get out to watch the kids play sport more than one at a time, and now we can. The restriction on dance floor numbers at weddings has also been raised to 20, but still only the official wedding party. From this week, entertainment facilities, including theatres, cinemas and concert halls, can increase their capacity to 50%, and corporate events can welcome up to 300 attendees. Term 4 will see school restrictions being eased, including Year 6 formals and graduations able to take place, high school formals able to take place from the 12th of November, so as to not interfere with the HSC. With strict guidelines, students can return to playing wind instruments, singing and chanting together. Inter-school activities can happen with a COVID-19 safety plan in place. Kindy orientation, Year 7 transitions, excursion and camps can happen with strict guidelines, of course. And face-to-face community languages schools programs can recommence. We'll put a link in the comments with details of what you can and cannot currently do in New South Wales under the public health orders, and I'd encourage you to have a read through and see whether anything has changed that affects your industry and if there are any changes that you need to make. Of course, all businesses that are open still need to have a COVID-19 safety plan in place. Regarding South Australia, they've opened their borders to New South Wales. You'll still need to complete a cross-border travel registration to travel from New South Wales to South Australia though, and you can't have travelled to Victoria in the 14 days prior to arriving in South Australia. But at least you don't have to quarantine on arrival in Adelaide from New South Wales. Victoria has made the biggest step this week. Metropolitan Melbourne has moved today into the second step towards COVID normal. According to the plan announced several weeks ago by the Andrews government. We'll put a link in the comment with all the details, but some of the changes are there's no more night curfew, more people can meet at a time, childcare can reopen straight away and schools will reopen in term 4. Permitted industries can return to on-site work, and I think the number was 127,000 workers back to work today. More than one person can go shopping at a time, and outdoor recreation can be 2 hours per day rather than 1. There is a new restriction that proper face-fitting masks must be worn. Scarves, face shields and so on are no longer acceptable. The Victorian government has also determined that further lifting of restrictions will be based on the 14-day rolling case average rather than strictly according to dates, meaning that this level of restrictions might lift further as soon as the 19th of October. I will say though, it's really important, even with restrictions easing and it seems like, well, no cases in New South Wales yesterday, that we all remain vigilant. We wash our hands regularly, we wear properly fitting masks and maintain social distancing wherever we can. Australia is doing so much better than pretty much everywhere else in the world, and that is mostly because everyone is doing their bit to stop the virus being able to really take hold and take off again. Last week, New South Wales added the new Agricultural Workers Code into its public health orders, which allows free movement of agricultural workers across state borders. South Australia and Victoria have also signed on to the scheme. This is great news for primary producers across the regions who will now have access to seasonal travelling workers. Workers will still need to have permits to travel between New South Wales and Victoria and will of course need to use personal protective equipment as appropriate. For more details about the code as adopted by National Cabinet, we'll put the link to that document in the comments. It has been a really hard time for mental health for all of us. If you live in a rural or regional area, please don't forget about the farm gate counsellors who can provide professional support and assistance in an accessible way. The farm gate counsellor program was put in place to assist us with drought and the mental health ramifications of dealing with drought, and the funding has been continued and they are still available. To find out how to contact a farm gate counsellor, you can call the free New South Wales mental health line 24/7 on 1800 011 511, and I'll put that phone number in the comments as well. So that's all for this morning. Thank you for joining us. If you have specific questions about your business, about any of these news stories, or want us to help you out, you can contact Pinnacle People Solutions anytime via email, Facebook, phone call, whatever suits you, we're here. Our webinar this Wednesday is on the eve of New South Wales Small Business Month, and Bron will be chatting with a group of regional business owners about their small business why and what's great about being in small business in the regions. If you're having challenges or thinking of starting a new small business, you'll be able to ask them your questions. So tell your colleagues and tune in on this Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. Our October webinar series is going to be a set of fundamental webinars to refresh us all about the HR basics. So the topics we're going to be covering include contracts and position descriptions, good record keeping, paying staff correctly, and your lawful requirements for policies and procedures. You can register to attend any or all of these sessions through the New South Wales Small Business Month website. The link will be in the comments. Next week, because it's the Labor Day public holiday in New South Wales, we won't be holding this Monday morning news live stream. However, given the federal government is releasing their annual budget on Tuesday the 6th of October, Bron will be hosting a special live stream on Wednesday morning at 9:15, covering all of the HR implications of the budgetary measures announced. So please make sure to tune in for the relevant information for your business. In the meantime, please hug the people you can, wave cheerily at those you yet can't, stay safe, stay distant, wash your hands, and we'll see you on Wednesday.